You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend of his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
And if you can't handle the truth, you're in the wrong. You in the wrong place. What's up, everybody? It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. New Wi-Fi. I got some new Wi-Fi. I had to boost the signal for the Wi-Fi tonight. So let's see if this works out, because I know last week, and I talked for a whole half an hour and couldn't hear myself because I got a message from the people down at WBOK, 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans, where the Ron Kelly Show is going to be featured on Monday nights at 7 p.m. WBOK, 12:30 a.m. in Nolens. So we're going to be down there, so I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Oh man, it's just I just got news. You know, I don't know. It's just so much going on in the world right now, and I tell you, man, what's going on at the local level or whatever it's going on with the city council, that stuff ain't important right now. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is not important right now. But all that's going on in the world, you know, in the United States of America, you know, all of that stuff is just really not that important. I mean, I get it. You know, a lot of us want things to change where we live and where we operate. But, man, the world is, like, spiraling out of control, and it seems like nobody's paying attention. So, yeah, I can appreciate people wanting to focus on local issues. But, man, it's crazy right now. Anyway, it's just a couple minutes past the hour. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio program coming to you live. And we will be on WBOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. It's going to be Monday nights at 7 p.m. The show is not going to be live. I mean, just for right now, it's not going to be live. But we'll work on that. But shout out to my peoples down there in the people down in New Orleans. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for taking time out to join me. And man, I'll tell you, there's so much going on. It's ridiculous. So we'll get to all of that. So, you know, and I want to talk about this trans stuff. You know, AI versus trans. Like, which one is worse? And, you know, and we'll talk about, I got a couple other things I want to talk about tonight, too. So y'all just strap in and check me out. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. So Trump decides that he doesn't want to take over Greenland. So people around the world are breathing a sigh of relief, because that would have been a real problem. That would have been a real problem if Trump would have tried to take over Greenland, especially if he tried to do it by force. You know, if he tried to do it by force, it'd be a real serious problem. Okay, what happened here? Yeah, that would be a problem if Trump tried to take over Greenland. All right. Yeah, that would have been a problem. So anyway, it's a couple minutes past the hour. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio program coming to you live from Montclair, New Jersey, actually. And shout out to my people down in New Orleans, WBOK 12:30 a.m. So if you don't catch the Ron Kelly show on you know, you can catch it in the archive, or you can listen to it on WBOK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. Anyways, a couple minutes past the hour. Thank everybody. Shout out to my peoples on LinkedIn and YouTube and everywhere else, people who are able to see the Ron Kelly show. Thank you for the like. I'm not sure who liked the program, but I appreciate that. So Trump decided that he's not going to take over Greenland, because that would have been a problem, you know, because the program, because Greenland is an ally of the United States of America. Greenland is an ally, you know. And then you have other allies who are sending troops to Greenland to stop Trump's nonsense. So today, when he was at Davos World Economic Summit, and he said that he is not going to try to take over Greenland. So somebody got through to him. Somebody got through to him, and he announced that he wasn't going to try to take over Greenland, at least not by force. I mean, I can dig it because Greenland is right in between the United States and Russia. Right in between. You know, so I can understand why he may want to put troops there. He may want to put defensive weapons or whatever there. But those people don't want to be a part of the United States of America. They were like, yeah, they showed some interviews of the people there, and they were like, oh, we don't want to be a part of the United States of America. So yeah, it's you know, Trump is just, I don't know, on a mission. And that's why it's so important, like I've said every week, that it's important that we vote for the Democrats in the election that's coming up for the election that's coming up for the midterms. So we got to take over the Congress. We doubt if we got to take over the Senate, but you know, we do have to take over the Congress because this is going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. You know, but I'm going to talk about that, and I'll talk about a couple other things right here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. So, you know, this transgender stuff, you know, Facebook may cut me off when I start talking about this. This transgender stuff. I mean, back in the day, back in the 70s, you know, whatever, 70s, 60s, 70s, people would like cross-dress. That was, you know, the thing back then. You know, people would cross-dress in the privacy of their own homes. It was mostly men that would dress like women. And they would cross-dress. They would wear a wig, put on a dress or whatever, or put on lingerie, and they would do it in the privacy of their own home. And then when they came out, after they got their little thing off or whatever, when they came out, they would come out and, you know, as their original selves. But now we got this transgender stuff where men and women are actually, men and women are having surgery. You know, the bottom surgery, top surgery, where, I mean, it just gives me the creeps to even think about it. Bottom surgery, top surgery, have your breast removed, you know, and then go on social media and talk about it. Like, we really want to hear about that. And then what makes it even worse is that folks, you know, you can always, liberals, you know, and I was never always anti-liberal, but liberals are causing problems here in the United States of America. There's liberals who subscribe to everything. Look what happened with the doctor, Dr. Verma, Nisha Verma, the gynecologist / obstetrician, who wouldn't say when she was being asked a question at the Senate subcommittee, and they asked her, they said, well, you know, can a man have a baby? Can a man have a baby? And she would not say. And this is somebody who went to medical school. This is a woman who is an adjunct professor at a university. Somebody who's, you know, I'm like, come on, you can't. And he asked her multiple times, and she just dodged the question. And then they asked J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, you know, the billionaire governor of Illinois. They asked him. He just kept dodging the question. I'm like, so have we gotten to the point now where we can't honestly say whether a man is a man and a woman is a woman? I mean, oh God, you know, you just don't know what to think. It's getting ridiculous. And she, you know, and she's gone viral now. I guess she must be like at the height of embarrassment. But she was saying that she would not say that a man cannot have a baby. And we all know that a man can't have no baby. Or if it's just a trans man, trans woman. I don't believe in any of that. There ain't no such thing as trans. Because you're not transforming into, there's no way that a man, is going to, not just, you might look like a woman. Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of the trans women look good. Some of them look good. Some of them look just like women. But you're still a man. You're not, you hear about them going to get bikini waxes and stuff. Come on. Come on. You think somebody who does bikini waxes is going to bikini wax a man? It's just unbelievable. It's really like unbelievable that this is going on. And then you have the liberals who are co-signing this stuff. Now, I got nothing against the people personally, but just first we got AI. We have AI, and AI, you don't know what you're looking at on social media anymore. Because AI, you can create anything. I know somebody's probably going to create something about me at some point, which I'll just laugh at. But you got AI, you have where you're able to recreate anything, and you see some of some of these reels where you just know, like, wait, this ain't real. This can't be real. Where somebody can run from a lion or something. The lion's gonna catch you. So this AI stuff is, you can't believe what you see on social media anymore. Now, this ain't AI. This is me all the way. But you can't believe what you see on social media anymore. And then you got these transgender people. I mean, you have a man. I mean, there's how. Somebody make it make sense. I just don't understand how. And again, no disrespect or anything like that, But our kids got to grow up with this stuff now. This is a bad time to be a kid. I mean, I'm glad I was a kid when I was a kid, because now is a bad time to be a kid, because there's so much stuff going on that you don't know what to believe. So you go on, now you have artists, singers, who are being AI, artificial intelligence, to do commercials, and AI for singing their songs and stuff like that. Because you don't know. I mean, social media has got to the point now where you don't know what to believe. And now you got this transgender stuff, where the men, the trans men, they call them, they're women who want to be men. They look like men. They do. They look straight up like a dude. They look like men. And then when you see the trans women, the men who want to be women, they look like women. They look good. I'm not gonna lie, they do. They look good. I mean, until you find out they got the same thing you got, they look good. But this is a bad time to be a kid. Because you see these pictures now on social media where it's a couple, the man, or who appears to be a man anyway, is several months pregnant. So, I mean, everything is all screwed up right now. It used to be man was a man, woman was a woman, and people used to cross-dress, which was perfectly harmless because they did it in their own homes. But now as technology has advanced, now there's all these doctors are making millions off of these people, getting their breasts removed. And actually believing in their heart of hearts that they're a man. These women, these transgender women, these men who get surgery, that they're actually believing that they're men. The women, the trans women as they call them, they only God can make a vagina. I'm gonna be straight with you. Only God can make something as wonderful and functional as a vagina. I don't care who your surgeon is. He could be the best surgeon in the world, but he's not gonna be able to make because it's the vagina is. Well, I don't want to get too much into it, but a vagina is men don't have a vagina, and it's meant to be. Well, again, I don't want to get too far into it, but it's just kind of ridiculous how these things are going on. Yeah, then you got people who are going in the message box of some of these, some of these people, and they're explaining like, how they have where their clitoris is, like the trans men, for example. It just gives you the creeps. They're explaining that they have a pump, a penis pump, and where they take the skin, they graft the skin off of an arm or a leg or a buttock or whatever, and they use that to make a. It's just, man, I just get the creeps every time they talk about that. I actually get the creeps because it's ridiculous. I mean, then you got AI. So what you see on Facebook, social media, TikTok, whatever. It was a gift to content creators because you don't know what you're looking at right now. You can go to a club and see a nice looking chick. You be like, oh man, yeah, she nice, and then if they're honest, because a lot of times they're not honest, and they don't tell you, hey, I was a man at one time, or the trans man who should be telling you I was a woman at one time. You see, because I don't advocate violence under any circumstances. I don't advocate for violence. I detest, hate, whatever you want to call it, violence. But see, this is what happens. That's why and again, I don't condone it. I don't condone violence in any form. But this is what happens. Sometimes they don't tell. Because I was watching, they don't tell, and then they get hurt. Because I was watching something, the guy, he killed a girl. Now, God only knows how he didn't know, but he married her, and come to find out that she was a man, and he killed her. Now, I don't condone that. I don't think you should, but if you're going to be a trans person, you should be able to tell, like, straight up from the door, hey, look, I was a man at one time. Some guys will go for it, but just like if you're a trans woman, tell the person you was a man. If you're a trans man, tell the person that one time you was a woman, because they're going to find out, they're going to find out, as soon as the clothes come off, they're going to find out what you are, what you was, and what you could be, But, anyway, we'll take a break. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more of the program. It's the Ron Kelly Show. It's the Ron Kelly Show. And it's on
Bold Truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show, every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m.
Yes. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Show. Real talk. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM.
Oh, yes, indeed. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, it's you know, when you're on a track and you're trying to do something, man, you got to be thick-skinned, because not everybody's going to support you. You know, not everybody's going to support you. You know, I've been doing this radio thing. I went to school for radio and television. I had to pay $13,000 for a 1-year course for radio and television. It was worth it. But when you're on a career track, whatever it is you're trying to do, I can imagine what Tyler Perry was going through when he was coming up, dressing up with, like, what's her name? You know, handing out flyers. You know, nobody thought he would get where he was trying to go. You know, I mean, yeah, he's in trouble now. I mean, I don't know what the story is with that. But nobody, you know, when Tyler Perry was out there doing those plays, you know, and doing the stuff that he was doing, nobody ever thought that he would wind up being a billionaire. You know, and when you're on a career track, when you're trying to do stuff, people are not going to support you. You know, that's why I don't really talk about, like, outside of, you know, a couple of people, I don't really talk about my radio career, because people are not gonna, they don't care. You know, so it's a road that you're gonna have to travel by yourself. I've been in relationships, I've been married, you know, and you know, and I didn't get the most support, because people, you have to believe in yourself. You know, you have to believe in yourself, because people are not gonna, you know, believe in you. You know, so you got to do your own thing. Like me, I'm doing my own thing. You know, just people, they're not gonna believe in you. So you got to believe in yourself. You have to buckle down, and you have to make sure, you know, what you want to do, and then you have to, and not let, because people won't support you, don't let that slow you down. Don't let that tear you down. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that get you down. You have to keep pushing. I've been doing this for a minute, you know, and like I said, outside of the, you know, 1 or 2 people, I don't really talk about my radio career, because people, you know, they doing their own thing too, and they don't really care about what you're doing. You know, so if you do have some support, you're lucky. If you have support, if you have people who support you, you're fortunate. Because a lot of times people won't support you. You know. So, you know, shout out to Tyler Perry. You know, I know he's got some stuff going on right now that y'all know. Another lawsuit just come up where somebody else is saying that he tried to, you know, mess around with them. You know, this is the second person. You know, is it true or not? It's not for me to say. But, yeah. But again, when he was doing Medea and dressing up like Medea, people probably laughed at him. You know, when people will say, "Oh, he ain't going away. He ain't," you know. And look what he's a billionaire. You know. Now this other stuff, this side stuff that's going on with the lawsuits, that's another thing. But, you know, I would love to talk to him one day. I would like to talk to Tyler Perry one day and try to find out, like, what he had to go through, because I'm pretty sure it was a lot. Handing out flyers, getting, you know, people saying that his shows, that Tyler Perry's, there was always some kind of message, you know. That's how you got the church folks in there. There's always some kind of message, you know, where the woman always came out on top. Like with Steve Harris in the movie that they was in, with old girl, put out, kicked out, but she came across, you know. So shout out to Tyler Perry, and I can imagine what he went through on the come up, coming up to be what he is today. I would love to have a conversation with him because I'm pretty sure it was a rough road, and he traveled most of it by himself. Like I traveled my radio road by myself. But I believe in me, you know, and I don't let what other people think about what I'm doing. Uh, I don't let other people. Um, I don't let what other people think about what I'm doing. Um, I don't let what people think about what I'm doing affect me. Because, like I said, I don't even really talk about this stuff when I'm out, out and about, out in the community, unless somebody asks me. And sometimes people do, hey, what's going on with your radio show? I say, well, um, um, yeah, some people do ask, hey, what's going on with your radio program? Yeah, I let them know if they ask, but I don't bring it up. You know. So yeah, lots going on. What's that? Okay, yeah, lots going on in the country. You know. So I want to talk a little bit about. It's about 27 minutes past the hour. I want to talk a little bit about Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. His birthday was last week, actually. Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday was it was the 15th. That's his official birthday. But they moved it to a Monday, to take advantage of the 3-day weekend. So his birthday was not yesterday, it was the 15th. Not the 17th or the 18th, whenever they celebrated it. But you have to, what would Dr. Martin Luther King say about today? What would Dr. King say about today? What would he think about what's going on in the world today? I could just imagine, because Dr. Martin Luther King knew he was going to die. He knew it. He knew he was going to die, and but he kept going. He didn't back down. Because Dr. Martin Luther King's message, white folks didn't want to hear that back in the day. J. Edgar Hoover, whoever was the FBI director, and they had the Black Panthers and all that. They really didn't care that much about the Black Panthers. They didn't care about the Black Panthers. Black Panthers was a nuisance to the United States of America and the powers that be. Dr. Martin Luther King was a real problem. He was a problem. Because not all black people advocate violence. You see a handful of people who will say, who talk about doing things, but a lot of black folks don't necessarily advocate violence like some people. Because what are we gonna do against the United States Army? They gonna beat us. And it's not going to change anything. The views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of myself and R. Kelly Media Enterprises LLC, and are not those of my advertisers or my support team or anybody who has anything to do with the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. And shout out to my people at American Port of Transportation. The Ron Kelly Show is sponsored in part by American Port of Transportation. Don't you know, since 1980, for 45 years, around about the time I was born, right? 1980, American Port of has been putting it down, getting you where you need to go. The best and reliable transportation to get you to and from your destinations. School districts, casino trips, church trips, family reunions, private school transportation, medical transportation, you name it, American Porterfield can handle your business. So just give them a call, 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-6423, 908-753-6423, or you can email them. It's America amaker.porterfield at verizon.net. That's amaker.porterfield at verizon.net. It's Amaker for Transportation. Your source, your reliable source. You won't be sitting on the side of the road looking stupid. Your source for safe, reliable transportation to and from your destination. You are watching the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all over the place. And now, I was talking to my friend Charlotte Eberhardt, who's my handler down there in New Orleans. I was speaking to her today. It's the Ron Kelly Show. Monday nights, 7 p.m. Monday night, 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m. Now, this is an internet now. This ain't no internet stuff. This is not internet. This is cold-blooded radio that you can hear in your car. See, that's what we're talking about. Again, so praise is due to the Most High for keeping me going. Because, like I said, people are people. I guess they got their own stuff to do. So, they ain't trying to, Anyway, it's 28 minutes before the hour. See, so what would Dr. Martin Luther King think? What would Dr. Martin Luther King think about the situation in black folks today? What would he think if he was still alive? He'd be in his 90s by now. But what do you think? Because Dr. Martin Luther King made the ultimate sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice. You see, because not a piece of legislation has been passed. Not a piece of meaningful legislation has been passed since the death of Dr. Martin Luther King. Not one piece. Nothing. If anything, it's going backwards. Like I said, Dr. Martin Luther King was a problem for the white folks, the power that be, the white power structure of the United States of America. He was a problem. Because they didn't really get to, Jesse Jackson ran for mayor. He ran for the president. Who cares? They didn't care about that. They didn't care about Medgar Evers. They didn't even care about Malcolm X. They didn't care. See, but Dr. Martin Luther King had power. He had power. Dr. Martin Luther King drew a couple of 100,000 people to the March on Washington. And that's not to say that, that anybody else, Reverend Al or anybody else, to toss their efforts to the side. No, not at all. But Dr. Martin Luther King was powerful. And see, none of the other so-called civil rights leaders were talking about white folks and black folks being together. Oh, no, they didn't talk about that. White folks didn't talk. The black folks weren't. They weren't talking about working together with white folks, little black boys, little white girl boys, and little white girls. No, they didn't. They wasn't talking that. The Black Panthers was talking about, take over, violence. But Dr. Martin Luther King didn't preach violence. Dr. Martin Luther King preached what, that black folks and white folks should be able to get together. They wasn't trying to hear that. That's dangerous. They were like, no. And then it was working. Dr. Martin Luther King, what he was saying was working. More people followed Dr. Martin Luther King than anybody else combined. And he said in his speech, I may not get there with you. So he knew he was going to die. He knew that somebody was going to try to kill him. But he kept going anyway. So how many people do you think any of the people out there now today would be willing to give their life up if they knew they were going to be killed? Because he knew. Dr. Martin Luther King put it all on the line for us. And look, I know people come at me and people DM me and come at me and, say I'm more of a Trump person. And yeah, you can say that. I'm not no Trump person. I don't hate Trump. I don't like some of the stuff he's doing, but I don't hate him. You know, but you know, it is time for black folks, and I know a lot of y'all out there, you know, think I'm stupid or whatever, or you know, and that's fine. But my opinion is my opinion, and I'm gonna say what my opinion is. I don't care what you think to a degree. You know, we got to start being responsible. Because I see there's some people on TikTok and stuff to be talking about what black folks do versus what white folks do. Like, you safer in the white neighborhood than you're in the black neighborhood. And that's true. That's no lie. That's true. When I go in a white neighborhood, I don't worry about, you know, nobody bothering me. You know, I mean, unless it was I wouldn't be walking around in Staten Island, you know, in certain areas. You know, I wouldn't be walking around in Howard Beach, you know, even though it's probably not even like that anymore. But, you know, there's a lot of places where black folks live where I would never dare not get out the car. You know, you see, it's time for the black folks to start being accountable. We blame, you know, we're pointing at Trump and we're pointing at this and that and the third, you know, and we have to start taking accountability. We have to be accountable for what we do to ourselves. You know, you see the white person will cross the street when they see a couple of B-boys standing in front of the liquor store, and so will I. I mean, I may not make it look obvious. I want them to think I'm running from them. But, I mean, come on. You know, look, when you go, like, for the people, I live in Bloomfield, mostly white town. So, you know, I don't have to worry about somebody snatching my package off the, you know, first of all, the packages all go in the building, so, and it's not 100% safe. But, you know, we have to start taking accountability for what we do to ourselves. You know, we have to start taking accountability for ourselves. What we do to ourselves, not what white men do, because there ain't no more Klan. You know, I mean, yeah, they find different ways to do it now, redlining, and, you know, maybe you can't get a loan, you can't move into a building, you know, but we have to start taking accountability for the stuff that we do, the stuff we responsible for. We have to start, you know, we have to start taking accountability. We got to start cleaning up our own act. Because we can't always blame the other side, blame white folks, Trump and everybody else. You know, we got to clean up our act. We got to be responsible, and we got to stop, you know, dismissing each other when we don't agree. We got to stop dismissing each other when we don't agree. That's what we do. Oh, you're dead to me, you know, and they mean it. You know, sometimes we got to sit down at the table and say, okay, I don't agree with what you're saying, and here's what I'm saying. You say what you say, and then you try to find some mutual ground. You got to try to find some mutual ground. So it's about 20 minutes before the hour. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more of the program. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com. It's the Ron Kelly Show.com.
The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show, every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m.
Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go.
George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
We are back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and on WBOK, 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. I can't wait to get down there and commune with the folks down there, talk to them about some of the things. Mayor Nagin, who, well, maybe I shouldn't talk about him, but yeah, I'm looking forward to going down there. When the weather gets warmer, we'll see. Well, I'm talking to them, they're talking to me, so we'll see when I'll be able to go down to New Orleans. I always wanted to go there for Mardi Gras, because Mardi Gras looks crazy, and I always wanted to go to. I always wanted to go down there for Mardi Gras, because the Mardi Gras looks crazy. I can throw some beads and see what I can catch. Oh boy, anyway, everybody, it's about 15 minutes before the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. It's, God knows, WBOK 12:30 a.m. See, he knows. Because I noticed some people who used to listen to the program don't listen to the program anymore. And that's okay. You gain listeners, you lose listeners. Maybe they got a job. Maybe something changed. Who knows? But, we got a whole new audience out there in New Orleans at WBOK, 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans, Louisiana. I heard they got a new mayor down there. First woman mayor of Louisiana. So, yeah. So, because, again, we have to find some common ground with each other. Because I know I've argued with people left and right about my position on things. And we got to find some common ground. We can't, get mad, I'm not speaking to you no more. Because that's what we do. That's what black folks do. We get mad, you say something that I don't agree with, I'm mad now. I ain't talking to you no more. I mean, that's not how we should do. We should be able to come together and say, okay, this is my position, this is your position. Okay, well maybe we can, you know, back off some of the things that aren't that important and come to some kind of consensus with each other. But no, we don't do that. We don't do that. So yeah, I noticed that the YouTube YouTube audience. So thank you to people. Thank you to my folks who listen on YouTube. Thank you everybody. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, WBOK New Orleans, and some of the other people who listen to the Ron Kelly Show. Like I said, man, you better have thick skin, especially with this. You know, because this is public. You know, everybody can see what I'm doing. This is public. So you better have some pretty thick skin in order to do this kind of work. Because, you know, some people can't handle not being liked, you know, but I can. Anyway, it's about 13 minutes before the hour. So yeah, so what would Dr. Martin Luther King think about what's going on in Black America today? What would he think? What would he think? Would he, you know, would he be happy or would he be sad? Would he say, damn, I died for nothing? Or would he be pleased with what's been going on since his assassination? Would he be pleased with the rap and the talking about women, bees and hoes? Would he be happy about, you know, like rap music or people talking about killing each other, blasting off on each other? Would he be happy about that? Yeah, and you know, and I don't mean to sound like we haven't made any progress at all, because in some areas, some small areas, we have made a bit of progress. We have made some progress. It's just not enough to affect ourselves as a whole. It's not enough to affect us as a whole. You know, I want to walk through black neighborhood and not worry about what's going to happen to me. I would love to do that. That my people are going to look out for me. Because now it's like, you know, whatever. As long as you breathing, you know, you can be a victim. I would love to be able to, you know, to stop at the traffic light in the hood and not have to worry about somebody can run up and try to open my door, which the door is locked anyway. But yeah, I would love to be able to do that. You know, I would love to be able to be in my hood around my people and not have to worry about anything. You know, because you see, like, you know, it's not that white people do the same thing we do, you know, because I don't even want to hear that. You know, when you see black folks, you know, running up in the mall and with hammers and breaking open the jewelry cases. When you see black folks running up in the Coach store or Gucci store, whatever, breaking in and taking stuff. I mean, yeah, white people do that too. Of course they do. But that don't make it right that we do it. That don't make it right. You know? You know, there's a lot of talk now about the black family. You know, that the fathers not there. You know, and see, you know, and I detest that kind of talk, because it wasn't always, the black father sometimes got chased out of the house. He wasn't always, I mean, yeah, white men leave their families too. But more, I guess because there's less of us, it appears to happen more. But it's not always that that black men don't want to be fathers. That's not true. A lot of us do, but see, sometimes you get ran out the house. My son, my youngest son, my son's mother was awful. I get personal for a minute. She was awful. And she turned my son against me. I didn't even go to his graduation, high school graduation. I supported him all his life. So it's not always about the black man running out. Sometimes you have to leave. It's either that or wind up in a life sentence. Because some of the women, like my son's mother, my youngest son, I didn't want to marry her. And she, she didn't like that. So it's not always that the black man, it's an unfair characterization of the black man not wanting to be a father. And that's the big joke. That's the thing that white folks say. Oh, well, a lot of the single parent household. The single parent house, some kids do succeed in a single parent household. So that's the consensus that, black men don't want to be fathers. Yes, we do. But sometimes we get prevented from being fathers. Because you got a crazy baby mama who does crazy things. So it's not that black men don't want to be fathers. It's just sometimes, you can only deal with so much. You can only deal with so much, but that's the knock against black folks that a lot of our parents, most of the households are single parent, and it is true, but it's not always the black man left. I love my sister, Shahrazad Ali. I think she passed away, Shahrazad Ali. She used to be on my show back in the day. Loved her. And she would say stuff, that would really piss the women off. And she was a woman. She was a black woman. Very smart, very intuitive, very intelligent. And she even said the same thing. It's not that black men don't want to be a father. Sometimes you get ran away. Because they always, the women, it's not, man versus woman or black man versus black woman. I'm not talking about that at all. But I'm saying that sometimes the black man is not allowed to be a father. Because the baby mother can't get past whatever happened between her and the baby daddy. So, that's it and that's all. 6 minutes before the hour. But we gotta, there's things we can do to make our lives better. There's things we can do to make our situations better. Now, I know some women who would say that no matter what, that's the father. I'm gonna let him see him no matter what. Some women think that you're supposed to have money. And like I said, it's not always. Some of us are scallywags and scoundrels. Some of us are, but not all of us. So that's an unfair characterization for white folks to say that the black man don't want to be a father. Because a lot of us do. And some don't. Some whites don't. Some Asians don't. Some Native Americans don't. But it's just because there's less of us makes it seem like more of us, because there's less of us. So if we're only like 14% of the population, anything we do is going to be hyped up, because there's not as many of us as there are of other ethnic groups, white folks in particular. So it's about 5 minutes before the hour. But again, accountability matters. Accountability matters. I know a lot of people, they be like, what? What are you talking about? But accountability matters. And, we have to stop we have to stop. We have to keep it real. We talk about keeping it 100, then we got to keep it 100 with ourselves and with each other. You know, we got to keep it 100. Anetta Marshall says it's not about money, but they really have to realize when you give your time going to the playground, playing basketball, going to the barbershop, etc., so that those memories last a lifetime. Money comes and goes, and a lot of women don't really. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Same thing. If you're not providing the money, then you're not a good father. That you don't deserve to see the kid if you're not supporting him. Now, I wouldn't say that you don't deserve to see the kid because you're not supporting them, but I would say that, you know, some kind of effort matters. Some effort matters. So even if you don't have no money, my brothers, you know, because it could be a variety of reasons why the man don't have a job. It may not be just because he's just lazy and shiftless. There's a variety of reasons why the man may not have a job. You know, it's about it's about 2 minutes before the hour. So thank you for that, Arnetta Marshall. It's not about money. Yeah. Because I used to take my son to the barbershop. You know, I used to take him to the barbershop. He's like 24 now, 25. So you go to the barbershop on his own now. Yeah, money does help. And then the Marshall says money helps. Yeah, but it's the time, right? That time. Because you just come by and drop up a few dollars and leave. That's not, you know, that's not conducive to your relationship with the kid. If you come by every now and then and drop off money. I mean, it might work for a while, like when they're really young, but when they get older, you know. And I'll talk about my father on one of the upcoming shows. I won't talk about him now. There's not enough time, but I will talk about my father and what happened with me when I was growing up. But I just don't want to do it right now. There's only a couple of minutes before the program is over. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. Shout out to my people down in New Orleans, WBOK 1230 AM, who may be listening to the program. Appreciate you. Thank you for your indulgence, and thank you for welcoming me to New Orleans. I definitely plan on coming down there and going to the studio and see what's going on, meet some people and see what's happening. So until then, we'll see you back here next Thursday for another Ron Kelly Show. Don't forget, Monday night, 7 p.m., it's the Ron Kelly Show on WBOK 1230 AM.
The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show, every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, everybody, until next week, I like to say that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, and that we may not have it all together, but together we can definitely have it all. Thanks so much, everybody, for listening, and I'm going to go smoke a cigar.